What's good, everybody? It's your boy, J Goes Phantom. We got another powerful video for you today. Today we're discussing and we're talking about what actually is a split personality. Because, a lot of people create these versions of themselves, create versions of reality, create point of views, create psychological conditioning, but they may not know what is it that they're doing, so they may create this alternative mode of function, or they may have already an alternative mode of function that's kind of like an electric circuit that kind of is processing reality, which is just energy, processing life in a particular light. And that split personality may be processing things in a very negative light. And a lot of the times, like I said, man, this is some very powerful stuff, because like I said, this is our power. Like I said, we're all spirits. We have access to things, I'm saying, as far as energies, vibrations and stuff like that, but we're just spirits. We're not those things. We resonate with those things and stuff like that, right? So you need to understand that a lot of the times people subconsciously resonate with stuff, have thoughts and feelings that's on their mind and stuff like that they honestly truly believe is theirs and stuff like that, right? But until further investigation of an individual's belief and their subconscious conditioning and their psychological conditioning, what they were led to believe, you have to understand that you're gonna be a person really gonna be manifesting a particular pattern, particular path in their life, because they're really subconsciously would have bought a particular perspective. They have appraised reality in a particular light, and they might still be holding on to that, so they end up creating this like split personality. And it just starts off, like I said, it starts off as a seed, and then it becomes like something. It's a process. Like I said, everything in life is a process, but you gotta understand how to process these energies. Because look, we're just alchemists. We're just spirits, kind of like playing with variables, light and darkness, day and night, to create something like a picture, an avatar, a mind, and stuff like that, right? But you have to know what you're doing and stuff like that, right? Otherwise, you can get lost, and it just gets deep and shit like that, right? Because you have to really make sure what you're resonating with, man. Because I'm telling you, it's like, what is a cycle, right? People repeat cycles in their lives. People repeat themes in their life. People repeat people, places, and things and all that, but they don't know why. It's because there's an alternative psychological mode of function that is hijacking their behaviors and habits, and they don't know how to break that pattern, because that pattern is so strong, it kind of like took over their life and shit like that, right? So until they kind of get slapped in the face, until life slaps them in the face, until life sits them the fuck down, a lot of the times they may operate from this alternative psychological mode of function, the split personality, and they may call it its friend because they developed it and shit like that. But again, it's everything in life is something that we're distilling, a quality, a property. When someone's at the lab, they're playing around with different chemicals and shit like that, right? If you want to drop down to gluttony, you could do that. If you want to go up to whoever, blah blah blah, hey, you could do that. But what am I basically saying? I'm saying that the mind and the body is a factory, is a machine that we use to distill certain qualities. Everyone has access to these qualities, these attributes and characteristics, or these, demonic vices, whatever the fuck you want to call it and shit like that. But, it's not good or evil, either or type stuff. You just gotta know what you're doing type shit and stuff like that, right? That's why it's just like, man, this shit get deep. But I'm just gonna start explaining it. I'm gonna start reading what the fuck I wrote, because I can sit here and talk about it, but I'd rather just get to the order that I created already. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just creating a new order. But yeah, so let's get into this, man. A split personality is a character or a persona we develop, a pattern that operates on its own, an alter ego, you could call it, or just an alternative way of being that a person develops, usually based upon early experiences. Because you know what? Before you develop like a persona, or not even before you develop a persona or anything like that, because you already have access to certain energies. You have your sun sign, your moon sign, blah blah. You know your geometry. If you don't, look into that shit and stuff like that, right? Because you got to know yourself, blah blah, right? So you know your own individual map. You know what you're here to do and stuff like that, right? But you gotta understand that a lot of the times, just based upon those early experiences, you're gonna be indoctrinated. You're gonna be told certain things. You're gonna be told how to feel. What if you had, like a parents that fucking destroyed you and shit like that? What you gonna do? That's an experience, bro. You gotta let go of that, because what's that experience going to do? It's going to lead you to a belief. And what if that belief is negative? That belief is going to lead to a psychological mode of function, produce certain thoughts and feelings. It's going to be a pattern, and then you're going to be behaving certain ways, and you're going to entangle with that for a long time, and you're going to think that that's your life. And a person might really want to change their life, but they just got to transform their mind. To transform your life, you got to transform your mind first, right? So you got to really look at these early beliefs that we accumulated, and we got to really know how to wrestle with these, how to process these things. This way we can process something that's actually functional, something that's actually purposeful, right? Something that's actually useful, right? Just based upon repurposing things, right? So it's basically getting to the idea of recycling, but that's another video, right? So basically, the split personality, right, that it creates this alternative psychological motives, and that split personality can hijack what motor functions or alter behaviors or thoughts and feelings that don't feed into its program, right? Because everybody is mentally programmed. Everybody believes some shit. Some people believe in Allah, some people believe in Jesus, some people believe in like Buddha, some people believe in man. I have no beef with nobody. What you believe, I have no problem with it. But all I'm saying is everybody is mentally programmed and shit like that, right? So you gotta know the game. You gotta be able to see what the fuck's going on, so you can decide that, damn, did someone split my mind into a version of me that ain't shit? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what's the difference between you and the greatest people in the world other than just what they believe? People thought Moses was crazy, supposedly. People thought Jesus was crazy. Shit. People thought that I was crazy. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it's wild, bro. It's wild, bro, right? Basically, yeah. So it's like this alternative mode of function. This we feed it thoughts and feelings. It's like a program that's operating in the background, kind of like a computer, right? Like look at a computer. Look at a computer like it's your mind, right? Basically, you have programs operating behind your computer that way down your computer. So it's like, what if you just were to remove those programs that are operating behind the scenes of the computer? Maybe they will just weigh down your availability to, be available for something else. I'm just saying, I'm not a mathematician, but if you, divide some stuff, you take out some stuff out of the container, and you just, add some, some stuff, and, undergo a process of self-transformation, you just, transmute yourself, with knowledge, with awareness, what you're doing, with ceremony, with ritual, then, you can practically just transform yourself, right? And shit like that. But because, like I said, man, no one teaches this shit. Like this shit, man. It's like you gotta learn yourself in life, almost, right? Unfortunately. Yeah, man. Y'all know I like to talk too much. Y'all know I like to talk too much. We gotta focus, right? All right, but that program was something we gave energy and awareness and time to. A lot of the times, the seeds for that split personality are planted at an early age and groomed over time, right? Now that split personality is just a facet. That split personality is a facet, a part of you that got lost in the experiences of the external world, right? Meaning we start to give our thoughts, our feelings, our belief, our faith, belief, and imagination to the external world, and we gave a part of ourselves to the world. A person can have a bad heart chakra, for example. They can be like, feel like, the key is word feel, because how you feel attracts things and shit like that, thoughts and feelings, experiences and stuff like that, right? Or just, what waters you hold kind of establish how you feel. And how you feel, it's a very powerful thing, because it's how you feel about yourself, it's how you feel about reality. It's just how you feel. You manifest how you feel all the time, right? Let's say if a person can't control how they feel, right? And they let that split personality kind of take over and stuff like that, right? From the perspective of what? From the perspective of they wasn't aware that they was getting outweighed in the mind psychologically at that particular stage, at that particular moment, right? So they wasn't able to ceremoniously ritualistically walk the walk and talk the talk mentally. Meaning that, boom, a landmine blowed up in their mind, and it was like, they continue just to recreate that in their mind. That's about it. Pretty much. It's just that, right? That's a personality. It's just a part of ourselves that we just gave up to the world in a sense. And we started to believe in some shit externally. So just believing in some shit internally. And we just believe like, yeah, we got to keep that part of ourselves alive. But, is that part of ourselves really helpful for us? I'm just saying. Yeah. So that split personality is just a facet, a part of you that got lost in the experiences of the external world. So it's kind of like a cancer cell, and it goes rogue because it got programmed to carry another function, or a wounded child that's rebelling against his own father, which is just you, right? That's the process of like division, like done negatively, because we can start to develop different minds that are not in order or alignment with each other. So it means that a person's psychology is not operating and moving coherently in unity, right? It means that a person is paying attention or giving energy by being programmed to give their mind to that and stuff like that, right? So all right there, all I'm pretty much saying is that people just have a part of themselves that is going in another direction that they are not able to put under control, just due to them not being able to transform themselves and change. So it's literally just about being able to change, pretty much. It's just about that and stuff like that, right? But you gotta be able to get out of something, get in, get out, get in, get out. It's like a mechanism and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whenever you can't do that mechanism, you find a part of you taking over you, like a facet of you that you're supposed to keep under control, like gluttony, wrath, love, peace, whatever you want to call it, man. It's all these, axes is supposed to be your bitch. You're not supposed to let these vices, virtues like run you. I'm not gonna tell you what you're supposed to do, man. It's just you create your own direction. You do what the fuck you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's really like a process where we're just creating a new mind. But a split personality is like a disorder in the mind because we're paying attention to too many different shit. And man, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Man, it's wild. But yeah. So just to wrap it all up, man. So it creates this alternative function, right? Or energy circuit that obscures the truth to cater to that split personality mode of dysfunction, right? It's like that familiar spirit that we cater to and stuff like that we don't know how to like move in and out of, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Now, splitting our personality is what we actually do as spirits. All we're doing is just basically migrating to a different mind, but when other people put witchcraft or a script or an alternative function to have you carry that function, that that's like having the evolution of your spirit under subconscious control type shit. So you end up developing things in your mind based upon another person's starting point or programming and shit like that, right? Yeah. So a split personality is basically just a part of you that tries to manipulate your chakras so it can shine its light, its awareness, how it thinks it feels, and push out what it resonates with. But usually it's inspired by fear. So I just recommend you create from a space of authenticity, faith, rather than fear and stuff like that, right? It's like, man, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy out here, this motherfucker. Trying to see, is there anything else that need to be said? Can sit here and talk some more, but at the end of the day, man, real shit. A split personality is not like it's not like a mental illness. It can become a mental illness if a person doesn't know how to process the energy what they have accumulated and what they are resonating with and shit like that, right? Like a person can have poison in their body, but if they don't know how to process that poison, then they're going to be, I guess, kind of F-U-C-K'd a little bit because, they're going to die, which is not a bad thing. It's just that since they're subconsciously still resonating with that energy, they're not going to incarnate. They're just going to reincarnate. They're going to come back and create the same cycle because they were still resonating with that energy and stuff like that. So since they kind of was resonating with disorder, they're going to join a cycle where there is disorder. And it's not like, Man, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's just look at our parents, right? We're just like our parents in a sense. Like, we have their, man, because like, why did you come out of your parents, bro? Because you resonated with them and shit like that, subconsciously and shit. It's like we just kind of like coming out in a single file and shit like that. Like, that's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a pattern, bro. It's a cycle. I'm telling you, like, that's just what it is. It's a cycle, man. And the better we know how to cycle our bicycle and stuff like that, and know what direction it is we're headed and shit like that, what we're paying attention to, the better we're able to maneuver and operate in this world and shit like that, because this world is basically gonna trick, manipulate, confuse, and stuff like that. But we resonated with this world in the first place. So don't look at it like you blame God, you blame the world, or, or this is just what I figured out for myself, Oh, I blame God. I blame the world. I'm the best of the best. I'm right, and this is the truth, and that's all. No, man, it's not really any of that. It's just like it's just knowing when to let go, knowing when something no longer serves you and stuff like that. And what I'm saying is that split personality, that alternative mode of function, that is hijacking your psychology, that is hijacking your behaviors, that we're calling normal, is not normal. It's abnormal, and it's really just a disorder we're creating because we're paying attention to too many things. And so when we don't know what we're doing, we create a bunch of personalities, and it's like, man, now you got people that think, man, crazy shit, bro, crazy. It's not good or bad. It's just a matter of like, okay, how do you use this shit? That's all. So what I'm saying is, with what does Spider-Man say? With great power comes great responsibility. You just gotta know what you're doing. All right, buddy. Peace out. See y'all tomorrow.